Ready? Let's rake. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
You can put your rocks here and you can rake some dirt for our seeds.
Seeds.
Yep. This is our shovel, so we can make a little hole to put the seeds in. Do you want to put the seed in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Here you go. Here's your seeds. You see them?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now put it in the dirt. Right here. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to add some water. And cover. We have to cover it with dirt. Yep. Get your rake and then we're going to cover it. Your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Add some water so they can grow. And now we're going to see some flowers next time we come. Thank you for covering the seeds. That's perfect. See you later, seeds. Hello, and welcome to Tea Time, where we talk about tea and, I don't know, random stuff, I guess. Today's tea is Puka, is the brand, and it's called Peace. It's organic tea. This doesn't give me too much information, so I brought the box over. This tea is chamomile, spearmint, licorice root, lavender flower, ashwagandha, and hemp seed granules. I've been eating a lot more hemp seeds lately in my smoothies, and I chose this because it has seeds in it, and I'm all about seeds lately. That's what it looks like if you're interested. Okay, so I also have with me today 100% ginger juice drink mix. I've never had this before, but my stomach was hurting, and I think ginger is supposed to fix stomach issues. I have no idea if that's backed by science, but I know that people recommend you drink ginger ale. So, although ginger ale doesn't usually have much ginger. But today's episode is going to be focused on planting new seeds and talking about seeds because I felt compelled to share about seeds. Sorry, there's yard work happening outside. But I think I can fix that, so maybe you won't be able to hear it. I have been seeing seeds everywhere. I have been seeing seeds on billboards, on labels. We got seeds from Theo's new school that he'll be starting next year. His class is called the Seedlings class, and it feels like every day there's something new that has seeds in it. So I've been thinking a lot about this synchronicity that I've been experiencing and how it applies to my life. Before we get started, I'm going to chug this ginger drink because I feel like it's going to be slightly painful. Ooh. That was slightly painful. I just need to process. Sorry, every time my SIRI has something to tell me, she pauses my video. So hopefully, I don't know, we'll get through it one way or another. But now I get to drink tea, so I'm happy. Okay, so I've been thinking about seeds because of the synchronicity. I've been seeing it everywhere, but I decided to incorporate it into a yoga routine I created for my 200-hour registered yoga teacher training. And so I've been trying to incorporate it and simmer on it, I guess. Thinking about why it's important and how it relates to my life and how I can use it to inspire me. So as winter is coming to a close, we're coming up on spring pretty close here, I've been thinking there's all these old habits that I have that are falling away. I've talked about it a little bit in my previous videos that I am giving up substances like flowers and wine, and binging TV shows is another one that I am letting go of. Toxic environments. My current workplace feels a little bit toxic, and I hate to put that label on it because I feel like labels are just descriptors to help us better understand each other, but there's a lot of, I guess, drama that goes on there. If people don't like something that someone does, instead of letting it go, it tends to simmer, and I have been invited into that drama lately, which is not something I really know how to handle because I tend to be very avoidant and non-confrontational. So last week when I thought I was having a discussion with another teacher, she received it as a fight or an argument, and I tried many times to say I was just trying to clarify the procedures and what she wanted me to do and state what I was trying to do to give her a little bit of my perception of the situation. And of course, when it happens, it doesn't come out as smoothly as I want it to, so I think it was perceived the wrong way, and I have tried to recover from the situation and let it go, although it keeps being brought back up. So that's one thing that I am letting fall away, is this environment that doesn't feel safe. It feels very heavy. I can't change it. It's my current workplace, which I'm doing my best to find a new workplace after this school year. I'm not going to do what I've done in the past and just give up and leave. I'm still going to work through every day and try to build relationships and connections. And when there's things such as drama or miscommunication, I feel like I just need to let it go. And if it affects someone else deeply, that's not under my control. That's up to them to let go of. So I can only say my truth, speak my truth, say how I feel. If I'm invited to do so, I don't necessarily feel like I have to constantly be telling them my perspective. It's just in situations where it feels like they're saying, oh, I'd like your feedback, which I don't know how much feedback I'm going to give unless it feels right. But I'm not going to be sitting in the past. I'm not going to be stressing about the future. I'm just letting it go. I'm not worried about the judgments that come my way. I'm not afraid to go to work anymore. It just is what it is, and it's not something I'm holding on to. I feel very comfortable with my home, and I feel very comfortable with certain people at work. And the ones that I don't necessarily feel comfortable with, I'm trying to distance myself aside from what we need to do as a team. And I'm happy to be around these people. I just don't necessarily feel like we communicate well. I don't really know how to communicate with one person in particular, because it seems like anytime I ask questions, it's perceived as a threat. So that's not something I have control over. It's just something I have to release. I'm also releasing all my overflow to-do lists, all the things I feel like I have to do, I should do, and I'm still planning. I'm still writing it all down if it's something that I want to do and I want to revisit. And things like this weekend, I have a yoga teacher audition, but it's not a requirement. It's something that I'm really looking forward to and I'm excited about. It's also not something that I'm really attached to the outcome. While I think I would love teaching yoga, if right now is not the time, then right now is not the time. So I'm just excited to go and have the experience and have the audition, connect with other like-minded people, and hopefully get myself more integrated into the fitness community. I'm releasing my homesickness. For a while, I was feeling very sad, I guess emotionally addicted to the feeling of sadness and even depression, because I'm so far from my family. I think now that I've been in Maryland for a while, it's easier to say I'm letting go of the homesickness versus if I were to have said this a year ago around when we first had moved, it would have been a lot harder. I just don't feel like I need to constantly be thinking about my family. I think I am shifting my focus to being grateful that I have people to miss. And when I miss them, I call them and I do something about it. So I don't necessarily feel like I am homesick anymore. I feel like I'm building my life here and I'm really excited about every day because I have all these opportunities to come that are headed my way. And the really tricky one, aside from flour, because that was also really tricky, is processed and junk food. My body is so addicted to sugar. I'm constantly craving sugar. And especially because it's offered to me for free at work. A lot of people will bring in like donuts for the teachers or cookies or extra treats for holidays or just to say thank you. It feels like at least once every week or two there's treats in the staff lounge, which I'm grateful for. But this week we had Krispy Kremes in the staff lounge and I ate 4 donuts. 4 donuts. I had no control and I kept sneaking back in and grabbing more. And it was I didn't love the way it felt. And I didn't even love the way it tasted. Even while I was eating it, I just kept thinking, I'm not enjoying this. I'm shoving this down my throat so I can head back to work. And I need to let it go. And I have been working on it. It's not a snap of the fingers, let it go. It's been a process for me over the last 2 years. I think I've been really focused on it, but even before that, I have been aware of my choices. I've tried different things like fasting and starting my day with protein. And a lot of these methods do work, but it's the consistency that's a challenge for me. It's continuously buying eggs at the store because they're limited. You're only allowed to buy 1 carton of eggs at Trader Joe's right now. But really, I'm just making excuses because it's hard for me to say no when there's sugar placed in front of me, even if I'm not going out and buying it. It's this addiction that I'm learning how to release. I'm not fully there yet. I'm talking about it with my friends so that they're aware that it's something I'm working on and they can help remind me of what my goals are. So those are all the things I'm letting go of this winter and hopefully beyond. Every day's a new day. Like yesterday, I ate 4 donuts. Today is a new day. It's not something I'm going to let destroy my eating habits. I still want to eat foods that love me back, and I wrote all the lovely things I'm replacing these old habits with, like water and tea instead of sugary drinks and substances. When I sip on tea, it takes away that need to constantly take a hit. Instead of reality TV shows or even just regular TV shows, I've really been diving into podcasts and audiobooks to learn more and to feel good about the different knowledge that I have so I can contribute more to conversations. More of what I'd like to talk about, things like health and gratitude and meditation instead of things like judgment and... Sorry, I thought I heard someone. Anyways, I'm shifting my focus on myself to focus on this person right here, this meat suit, instead of all the people around me, separating myself from emotionally charged situations where I feel like I'm getting stuck in these repeated emotional cycles, like feeling angry and then feeling sad and then feeling confused. I'm just not giving it my time and energy anymore. And it's a lot easier said than done, but I think because I've been meditating a lot more than in my past, that's been helping me shift my focus to my current well-being and see how am I feeling in this moment. If I find it hard to be present externally with my classroom, then I shift my focus to how am I feeling inside. Do I need to drink some water? Do I feel like I need extra movement today and go on an extra walk when I get home? Do I feel at peace in my mind? Am I able to let the thoughts drift, or should I focus on things that I'm grateful for in order to replace those thoughts that are bringing me to a lower vibration? And of course, when it comes to food, I'm focusing on foods that come from the earth. I come from the earth. I don't want to be eating things that come from a lab. I want to be able to love food and have food love me back. And I've been thinking about just buying those big boxes of salads and just eating them straight out of the box. I would still wash them, of course, but I think that would help me not snack if I had the lettuce, because I actually really enjoy just eating spinach cold. Don't ask me why. I don't think it tastes good. I think my body just needs it and it craves it. Some new seeds that I'm planting or have been planting are related to self-expression. I used to not express myself very much at all. And I wrote my book, and that was kind of the trigger moment, I guess, that set me off into this world of creativity and making sure I allot time to paint and to write and to create videos. So I feel like I'm able to clear my throat chakra in that way. I think that was blocked for a really long time, and I feel a lot better about communicating in general. I think I communicate really well. But setting aside the situation from last week, and I still feel like I communicate well. I just think we all have things to improve on, and hopefully I learn from this situation and I'm able to communicate better with all kinds of people. But I do feel more comfortable expressing myself and being who I truly am, which is this hippy dippy flower lady that loves tea. And there's so much more to me, of course. We're not just these bodies, we're souls. And I'm no longer scared to communicate my beliefs with friends and with coworkers and with family. But I do think I'm learning the times that feel appropriate to communicate these beliefs. So of course I still have some to work on there. But I'm really happy with those seeds that I've been planting. Self-care, I have been slowing down. Even though I've been doing a lot, I'm more intentional and more present while I do it. I've been taking daily walks to be mindful about my movement. I am playing with Theo more. I used to just sit on my phone while he'd play with his mobile. Later. Yeah, do you want to leave it? Are you fun? Are you good? Are you at peace? Yeah. Yeah. At peace? At peace? At peace? What does that mean? Do you know? Your soul should know. Anyways, I've been playing quite a bit more. Oh, and part of my self-care, I've been looking for a new apartment. Those of you that have been following me, usually my videos don't look like this. I have a lot of toys to clean out, but honestly, I clean this apartment at least twice a day, and it still ends up looking like this. But I thought I'd show a little bit of reality today because I can. And I didn't feel the need to clean. And I think people should know that life's not always perfectly curated and beautiful. And even when you try to curate it to be perfectly beautiful, lovely, the environment that you want, it doesn't always look that way. But I've been looking for a new apartment because we have cockroaches at this one, which we haven't been seeing as much of lately, so that's been nice. Another big reason is because it's really far from my husband's work. It's actually not that far, but traffic wise, it takes him over an hour to get home some days. So we're hoping to move closer to his work. So that would be another move. Right now, this is Theo's third home since he's been born. So that would make it his fourth home if we move again. But I think it's actually really refreshing to be able to find what suits our needs and to feel flexible enough to let go of all the things that we don't need it anymore. It forces us to do a clean out every time we move. And although it would be nice to be in a nice, stable home, that's not what's present in my life right now. I'm just happy to have a roof over my head. But for self-care, to be able to take care of myself, my husband, my family, I'm planning our move now so that I don't have to stress about it and worry about it. I may still worry and stress because I'm human, but I'm at least taking action to hopefully manifest a home that feels right for us for the next few years, because it would be really nice to not have to move next year too. I've been really consistent with my meditations, so I think that's been the biggest thing that's been helping my self-care, my mental health, my physical health, and of course the movement. The movement's been another big one. I hate to say it, but it works. I was severely depressed a year ago. I changed my diet, I changed my hobbies, I changed my habits, I changed my physical activity level, I changed a lot in the last year. And it worked. I feel so much better about where I am and where I'm going, and I feel better about leaving the past in the past and rewriting my past the way I want it to be grateful for, and planting seeds for the future that I want. Which brings me to the third area I've been, planting seeds in, my Dharma alignment. I kind of hopped into teaching just because that was the job I could find and I enjoyed it at the time. And so I continued my education in teaching and education. And I've had a lot of fun at schools, but it's also brought me a lot of stress, and I've learned how to handle the stress, although I don't feel like it's aligned with who I want to live this life as. I'd much rather be someone who teaches peace, someone who opens hearts, opens minds, someone who is a thoughtful leader. And I don't think teaching is going to get me there. It just doesn't necessarily feel right anymore. I'm using my heart to guide me where I'd like to go, and feeling more so than my brain. So even though I haven't thought through my future too much, aside from getting my certification and having this audition this weekend, I'm just feeling it out. If it doesn't feel right this weekend, then I will shift direction. But I'm noticing my bodily sensations more. I get stomach flutters. Is it a good flutter? Is it a nauseous stress flutter? I've been noticing my eyebrows a lot more because I feel like they're constantly like this. And just as an example, I think a lot of us lose sight in how we feel, and we get so lost in our circumstances or in our situation. And when we know how we feel, we can change how we feel if we have the right tools. And I've just been practicing that a lot more. I'm living out of my heart, living with love, with kindness, with compassion, living with joy. I'd much rather be happy to wake up every morning than dreading going to work every day. And I'm not saying I don't still have these challenges. I do. Things are still hard. But I've learned to love the hard parts. I've learned to embrace the struggle because I know that there's change around the corner, and I know that every challenging situation also comes with growth. In one of my audiobooks, I don't think I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I'll put it in the description. It talks about the life cycle of a flower. A flower will wilt and it will die, but it will also turn into compost for fresh plants to grow. And I think that's a really beautiful thing and a beautiful way to look at life. Even though there's so much uncertainty right now, really, there's always going to be uncertainty. We can't plan every aspect of our lives. We can't control everything. We can't control everyone, and we can only learn to control ourselves and support others. So I think it's important that we learn to love ourselves and to love others and to love what we can do for this world. And that's how I'm living my life now. Abraham Hicks says that we're always under the influence. So it's up to us to notice what's influencing us. Is it the people around us? Is it our job? Is it our food? Is it our habits? And how can we change these influences to reflect what we want for our future and for our present, more importantly? Anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you all enjoy your spring, or if you're watching this at another time of year, enjoy the season of life that you're in, and hopefully your tea or water. Make sure you stay hydrated, and thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time. I feel old. I realized I forgot to share that I actually did plant new seeds today with Theodore, my son, at the school he will be starting at next year, because that's where I hope our life will grow. So not just figuratively am I planting seeds, but also literally I'm planting new seeds to attract pollinators and bring more flowers to the world through my actions and through my words.